Hey everyone, Elliot here again. In today's video, we are going to be looking at a multi-screen fake DS, basically. This looks really funny. I thought I'd buy it. I haven't actually seen a Pop Station in a very long time. Most of the time nowadays, the kind of knockoff consoles either run like Android or they have the preloaded games onto them, like the BitBoy, etc. So I thought I'd really go back on the roots here and actually check out an official original Pop Station type thing. Obviously it's not an official Pop Station. It was made in Japan. It's called the Multi-Screen. It looks like it has 3 games on it, so we're going to have 6 screens because it's a double screen thing. So I'm not entirely sure how they're going to do that, if they're going to put like statistics on the bottom or if they're actually going to utilize all the different surface area on the screens. This was €20. I bought it again while I'm in France, but I managed to get it for 15 after kind of bartering it down a bit. In terms of a date, I can't actually see that there is a date on here anywhere, which is kind of a little bit annoying, but maybe there'll be one on the manual. Let's go ahead and open it up. Let's not even talk about this just yet, and we'll see what we see inside. So here is a manual, but again, the whole thing's in Japanese, so it's rendered utterly useless. But the main attraction is what is inside this box. So it looks obviously like it's a fake Nintendo DS. That's obviously the vibe that they've gone for here, ignoring this because that doesn't look like anything. That's obviously some sort of original design they've gone for. Here's the screens. Let's take a look at the DS. By the way, it's absolutely tiny, like seriously small. But it looks a lot like a DS. They've really got that nailed. There's no shoulder buttons, obviously. That's the controller port. There's a strange just hole up there. I'm not sure what that is. That's how we take the back screen out. That's where the battery's going, which I'm going to need to get in a moment. Pretty much it for on the outside. Open it up and we've got these ginormous bug eye speakers right here. Here's how you get the screen out at the top. It's kind of just like a an old Game Boy battery cover. There's the little screen though. I imagine it's going to be immensely hard to actually see the screen, especially in this current lighting that I have. I might need to just change that. But you can kind of see it's a very basic old design. That's how they used to have the LCD screens. Everything's already embedded in there, and as the buttons are pressed and as the different things go on the screens, the liquid crystal turns on and the shape is already in the actual liquid crystal itself. So it's not really like a pixel-based thing. The pixels shapes are essentially the character designs and whatever action is going on the screen. And then the background is literally just a piece of reflective paper in order to bounce the light off it, like an old Game Boy. On the back, there's a ribbon kind of thing. It's basically like a piece of rubber which has conductive pins in it. And then that slots onto this. And then all that goes through there, I imagine, really is just the button press and power. There's not going to be any, these aren't going to really talk to each other, I don't think, but I might be wrong. You can see the flex cable going through underneath, which kind of somewhat ruins the design of the device. It has no click-in hinge mechanism, which is obvious. This is a cheap thing. They've even got the fake LED indicators. They haven't got a fake stylus or anything, which I'm really disappointed about. But we can't get everything. So the buttons, the D-pad actually feel, no, not the D-pad, sorry, the A and B action buttons feel great. They feel nice and spongy, a little bit too springy perhaps, but still really good. And the D-pad actually doesn't feel that bad. Bearing in mind this probably would have been, I don't know, £20 back in the day when it first was released. Something like that is not too bad. Although you'd be very gutted if you got this for Christmas as opposed to an actual DS. But anyway, here's the controller. So the cable on this feels like shoelaces, which is a sweet in England that we have to eat. So they're really cheap rubbery thing, but nicer than some of the headphones you get in Power World. No D-pad. This is like reminiscent of the Nintendo Switch. I'm not sure what this is for. Potentially 2-player, maybe. Here's the controller port, which looks a bit like an SNES. But yeah, horrendous. And then the different games. This looks like it's going to be some sort of Game & Watch rip-off. These games look reminiscent of Game & Watch screens. So you've got a potentially cement Mario type thing going on with different platforms and whatnot, so maybe that's what that is. And then on this one, we've also got platforms, so it does actually look like they're going to be utilizing both screens and as like an extended surface area, as opposed to one's going to show like statistics or whatever. But yeah, that one looks like some sort of two-level thing, and this one doesn't. This one looks like a fighting game. So I'm going to put the batteries in and turn the camera around so we have the lighting from the window over there on the screen. The fact that this thing takes 2 AAAs, to be honest, is absolutely criminal. But we're in. It's making noises. It's on apparently. Let's try and turn it off. On and off. There we go. Okay, so excuse the reflections. There is no real easy way of filming this, so I do apologise in advance. But let's just try and get a sweet spot. That'll probably do. Bottom screen's a bit out of focus, but oh god, this is really going to be difficult. Okay, there's the different shapes I was on about before. That's good to show that it's working. And if we press S and P, which is start and pause. Oh my god. Oh no, I think the screen is, oh yeah. The screen on this is not quite working. Okay, let's just ignore this one. Potentially this game is just a broken one, but it looks like some sort of, you know, the cheap, generic fighting kind of knockout kind of game thing. So we'll just pretend that that one doesn't exist, and we'll try this one. Obviously, this video, the kind of main attraction of these things is the actual shape of the consoles themselves, if you can even call them that. The gameplay is all horrendous, and it's not even anything laughable. It's just painful. Oh my god! It's bloody Super Mario. Right, well that's copyright infringing. Let's try and get a slightly better angle. I wonder if it's going to be on the top screen. Okay, at least this one seems to work. Oh, maybe I've got to go. Oh, there we go. Wow. Oh, what's happening? Oh, there we go. Something's falling from the sky there. Okay, so now it's going further up. Maybe I've got to take it up to the plant at the top. Is that going to water it or something? And then I've died again. Oh Jesus, this is incredibly painful. Okay, let's try the final game, and then we're going to have to call it a day because, to be perfectly honest, this isn't even usable content. This is absolutely horrendous. Right, rest assured I've found a competent game that is actually playable, and hopefully you'll be able to understand what's actually going on. So, basically, I'll turn it on, and this is a direct rip-off of a Mario Cement Factory. Always completely down to the fact that they've used Mario's silhouette up there for lives, so that's direct plagiarism. But if we press start, basically we're just going to be moving these little discs. I'm not entirely sure what they're going to be. It doesn't actually have any indication. Potentially it's cement, or maybe it's cakes or something like that. One thing I do have to show you is the feature where if you miss one, I'll miss this one, and then you get a negative noise, and then you get beaten by your boss. So obviously Japan aren't exactly the most upbeat of people, if that's how they're coding their games. But now we can get 2 moving, and then it all gets a bit more fast paced. And this is actually enjoyable. I'm not even joking you. This is actually an enjoyable game. I could actually get a lot of fun out of this. I really enjoy these kind of platform games where you have to you know, make things happen in a time limit. And then it gets up here, and then you have to use your D-pad to move up and down. So you're essentially then 2-playing, but obviously you then have to watch the bottom screen in case another one comes out. So what you can maybe do is set him down on the bottom level, and then they go up to the top, and then you package them onto the van, and then I imagine you get a certain amount of them on there, and then it's done. I am going to try the controller because I know I'll get a lot of comments asking me why I didn't try it, but I imagine it's probably going to be, you know, just to control this top screen. So let's see if we can work out. Press start. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this one actually does do something. Oh my god, you can move the person on the side. So I imagine this is for two-player, you know, maybe it is actually intended on being two-player because this actually does something. Only these two buttons seems to work, so maybe these other buttons are broken. But anyway, let's not end it on a low note. The last game was completely viable. It's quite funny how the audio of it is obviously Super Mario. But yeah, really happy with actually how this thing turned out. I love knockoff things like this, as you most probably already know. I apologise for the background. I'm filming on the floor on a house in France, so that's what I'm going to have to deal with. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. If you want one of these, then there's something wrong with you, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.